commence the shit talking. Yeah, buddy.
Give me a second. All right, so do we want to start with the red pill or do we want to start with the riots?
I'm gonna flip a coin. I don't have any coins. Shit. Okay, let's use this cell battery right here. Okay, heads for Elon, tails for riots. Okay.
Pull your penis out for Jesus. Pull your penis.
Dicks out for Jesus. What happened to Harambe, man? Alright, anyway, we got tails, so let's talk about the riots first. So,
I'm getting this static from you. I don't know if you can hear it. Okay.
Okay, let me put some noise gate on. Okay, how about that?
Better.
Okay. I don't know, I can jiggle the plug a little more, but that's all I can do.
Sadly, the best one I could find talking about Elon is the Washington Post.
You know, I think the Washington Post may have posted a couple articles several weeks ago about how the coronavirus is like, just basically the news is lying about how big of a problem it really is. And nobody's reading it because it's text. And people just, they'd rather watch a video or whatever. I don't see fucking Modern Warfare needs an update.
Okay. Hang on, where was that other one?
By the way, update your Modern Warfare. There's a 200 megabyte update.
Oh, God.
Again. Yeah, I know, right? Anyway, I guess you still got your video share on?
Here, I'm going to start recording on OBS, and then I'm going to... Here. Probably should have turned all that off. Here, give me a second. Okay, now we're going. Okay. So I suppose today's topic will be the red pill.
The red pill with Elon Musk. Yeah, like...
So a lot of people know that he... Yeah. The red pill. So he sent out a tweet saying, take the red pill. And the entire internet lost it.
Well, what doesn't cause the internet to lose its shit? 2020. Nothing's new. So, tell me something I don't already know.
Okay. So a lot of people are saying that he is just referencing the movie. Other people are saying that he is referencing the alt-right group that happened to have made a Reddit post back in 2013 called "Take the Red Pill," and their whole thing is believing that feminism is wrong and it actually hurts men. And it actually hurts men. Your thoughts?
I mean, feminism is cancer. Does this need to be repeated? Anyone who disagrees with that probably isn't subscribed to either of us to begin with. But nevertheless, yeah, it's the whole red pill is a reference to, okay, when it comes to like gender politics, that is entirely a reference to the manosphere, which is a whole cluster of different groups of people who all hate feminism, have their own common enemy, but that's all they have in common. So that's what's known as the manosphere. And I don't think in any way what Elon said is affiliated to that, because unless it's some elaborate cover up. I mean, he's got a baby mama, he's got SJW retards as part of his family. I don't think he has any thinnest grasp of like the men's rights or anti-feminist side of the red pill per se. I mean, if anything, it's just I'm sure Elon was enjoying a real fat J or big blunt, and was just decided to get in touch with his third eye by posting some really obscure statement on Twitter. That's what I think is going on, and of course, people are trying to interpret something that's, for the most part, meaningless into something that's like nefarious, or Elon Musk is part of the far right now because he made a statement about taking the red pill, which is a dog whistle for white supremacy. You know, the usual bullshit. But I really think it's just nothing more than that.
So we know in the movie, so you have the option to take blue or the red one. And the blue one, you believe whatever you want. You wake up and you go back about your life. But if you take the red pill, you know the truth. You know that everything is a lie. And you've just been living in this simulation.
And you can see how far the rabbit hole goes. Or something like that.
Well, I did go through Twitter, and people were leaving comments under his tweet saying that, oh, well, I'll never buy a Tesla, or I'll sell my Tesla, or Tesla should oust him. And if you look at the Tesla stocks, they haven't been hurt at all, because no one actually cares.
Because how does the politics relate to business, right? They don't give a shit if your product's good, then people don't fucking care. It's like the same.
Well,
the same
what is
problem.
this?
It's like the same shit that Gillette threw itself into. Gillette lost like literally billions after that fucking dog shit ad campaign pissing on men and their primary customer base, mind you, the market share of like the men's products was by far much bigger than the women's Gillette product field could ever dream of being. So,
And the same razor for the women is actually cost more than the men.
oh yeah, but
It's just pink.
You know, because I'm stupid and I buy something that's pink and I pay extra because I don't know how to spend my money responsibly. I blame the government. So government give me more free money because I'm too stupid to go shopping on my own. I need a grown up to hold my hand and tell me which products to buy. So it's that's the beauty of the free market. The dumb shits will just sort themselves out, and the people who know what the fuck they're doing will continue working and make money. But the issue is, what's also shameful. Okay, you know how like the right as the citizens, they're not really standing up to the tyrannical government and the fucking Antifa retards just plowing through the country. Seems like same thing is going on with the businesses. Now the businesses, they're not the arbiters of culture. They simply go along with what their customers want, what they think their customers want, and sometimes their judgment calls are wrong. So, you could blame Gillette's campaign on Obama's Title IX or anti-discrimination titles that forces, these diverse employees to be employed by a company at gunpoint from the government, or not really gunpoint, but just rather threat of lawsuit. And the other half is just
You
really poor judgment. People in the end, your customers, unless you're in a specific niche, like you're a manufacturer of like riot gear for Antifa, I guess. How is it in your own best interest to market something, your product, with a political undertone to it? Your customers probably just don't care. They just want your product, they want a quality version of it, and they want to pay the price that they will. And nobody fucking cares about your politics. You don't go to your drugstore and expect to get a political lesson from your razor. You don't go to the movies expecting to get a political message when you're going to the movie theater. Not like not like a politician rally. That's just duh. That's like the product that's being sold. But when you go to and it's something that has nothing to do with political issues, social political issues, you just want to watch fucking Sonic the Hedgehog or a non-retarded version of Harley Quinn, but then you get inundated with this far left social justice bullshit. People will not like it, and it will continue to tank.
yeah, like Birds of Prey.
Yeah, like Birds of Prey. But the problem is, since these people who came up with this garbage social justice political entertainment and consumer products, they, instead of admitting that their idea is stupid and nobody fucking wants to buy their shit, what they do instead is that they silence any dissidents, and they blame their customers. They blame their customers for not liking the product for whatever reason. And that's how Sonic the Hedgehog, even after they fixed the fucking horror show known as the original Sonic movie, the live action Sonic movie, this fucking, oh my god, that nightmare face. Even after of course after they fixed it, the directors, the creators of Birds of Prey, were fucking mad that Sonic outsold them in the theaters. And this is the level of thinking that our businesses are being run by. These are people who have no regard for whether or not something actually works. They just want to do something that feels right or is morally right. We should be fighting the patriarchy with our fucking DC movie that nobody really gives a shit about. And then we blame our customers. You customers, you're the one in the wrong for not liking this overly politicized dog shit quality movie. Shame on you. And then they act surprised that Sonic wins the box office and not them. I mean, I don't know. But in the end, the laws of economics are almost like the laws of nature. You can only fight it so much. It's like, okay, the more restrictions you put on the economy, it's like trying to outlaw gravity. It's like you accuse God of killing people for letting them fall to their deaths when they jump off of a cliff because gravity is supposed to be illegal, just like guns and hate speech. That's what it's like whenever you try to put restrictions on the economy, with very few exceptions, like anything regarding children, like legalization of child porn or child labor. That's a different story. But with those few exceptions, every time you putting a restriction on the economy, it's like putting a restriction on nature and expecting the law to actually go do its stuff. So, but unfortunately, we have a majority voter base of people who think that just make something illegal and the problem will go away. You can't do that because you're illegal, because it's against the rules, like we're in fucking elementary school. So that's the world we're in. Anyways, so back to I guess we were talking about Musk and the red pill. Yeah, he probably doesn't know jack shit what all the different interpretations of the word red pill. Yeah, okay. This article says that he has had long exhibited a libertarian streak, exemplified by Tesla's response to COVID-19, because he doesn't believe the bullshit that's constantly flooding our news media about everybody dying.
I did see someone claiming that Elon had tried the left, and he is making his decision public on what he actually is, on
Okay.
being
Now,
right.
I don't know if he's thought the same thing, but when I was younger, I was drawn to the left. Like, okay, ever since I really understood what politics really were, which was probably like late into my teenage
And I was
years,
too. I was
I
too.
was, yeah, I was drawn to the left because I thought the right was basically the religious right, and that was all that the right was. And it's about, and I thought that the left was the gateway to personal freedom. And I guess since like the Civil War, the Democrat Party was about individual ownership, and the Republicans have always been the authority, or excuse me, the authoritarians in the sense that they want a stable and unified state, but that requires conformity. The South did not want to conform, and that's how the Civil War started. Neither of these parties gave a shit about the slaves. The slaves were just a pawn. And even Lincoln tacitly, well, not tacitly, explicitly stated this before he wrote the Emancipation Proclamation, whatever the fuck it is, in the 1860s. So Musk probably was thinking the same thing, that by declaring himself as a leftist, that's supposedly about freedom, but obviously as a multi-billionaire, he is almost, dare I say, doomed to fall down the far right extremist libertarian rabbit hole. And that's where he is now. He's just basically, he said fuck you to the government, and the government's like, okay, Musk, as long as you let your employees stay 6 feet apart, wear their masks, everything will be okay. And that's it, because money talks and bullshit walks. You know, the governors probably know how much money is in Musk's hands, and if he leaves, the state's going to have a huge hole in the revenue. So it is in the government's
That
best interest to let him do his shit and just let him go back to work, get back to business.
that is another thing. He did threaten to leave quite a few months ago. He did threaten to leave California if they didn't allow him to reopen his factory. He said,
Well,
"I will leave
you know,
my factory and I will build another one somewhere else."
what
And they
perplexes
didn't
me.
stop him.
What perplexes me is that how come Musk has the gumption to say "fuck you" to the government, but none of these other businesses do. Like all the other
He's got
businesses,
the money.
like GM, for example.
Oh,
Even I just minimize it, let it run though. Even like GM, like they switch over to making masks instead of cars because they just want a fucking virtue signal. But I mean, also partially because like the government's pointing a gun at their head, saying you better shut down your business and tell your employees to stay home if they're sick, otherwise we'll shut you down. So then GM's like, oh, okay, we'll make some masks, and then they just cower back into their corner and start making masks instead of cars. Now I'm just thinking, I don't quite understand, why is Musk able to do this, yet even bigger companies are not able to. Is it because they have a bigger crowd to address? They have to appeal to a greater group, and if they piss off even a small percentage of that crowd, then, get woke, go broke. Well, get woke, go broke is actually like a part of a relatively flawed reasoning. You are catering to probably a minority of your customers. You're giving in to the childish demands of this small percentage of your customers who are basically don't do anything except for their fucking advocacy bullshit. And you are screwing over the rest of your customers who don't care about politics. It is appealing to a very small by niche of your customer base, and it will do nothing but destroy your business. But it comes from a fear of it comes from a, how do you say this, risk aversion from a business standpoint. You're not willing to offend a 1% of your customer base, so you lose 99% of, and you instead of pissing off the 1% of your customer base and telling them to fuck off, you cater to the 1%, and then the 99% of the rest of your customers suffer, and they don't want to buy your shit anymore. So you lose 99% of your revenue, so you can protect one. That is almost objectively a failing decision business-wise. So, I guess what
well,
it boils
eventually
down
everyone will
to,
forget about it because it was just one tweet.
Well,
I
yeah, I
mean,
mean,
maybe if he
we
stays
got.
silent about it, maybe everyone will forget about it over time.
Oh yeah, we have the Minneapolis riots, and then whatever nonsense, out of proportion bullshit is gonna come up in the news next. The people are just gonna forget it in literally matter of hours. So, yeah, people already stopped talking about it, but hey, let's dig it back up. We're news necrophiles, I guess. But anyway, I think I don't know. Considering the information I have right now, I think it's just the reason Musk is doing this and other businesses aren't. It's just really character, really. And what's ironic is that people think most of these businesses think that if I just bend over for daddy government to come in and fuck me in the ass, I will be let loose. But Elon Musk, who isn't the biggest name on like the S&P 500, he is standing up to the government and just daring them to arrest him. And interestingly enough, contrary to what everyone's subconsciously thinking, giving in is how you lose, and fighting back is how you win. I know it's kind of like a no shit thing when I say it to your face, but we've been conditioned to think that giving in and being weak is how you get the pity and the sympathy, and that's how you win. No, your rights have to be enforced. You have to protect them because the rights don't exist on their own. They need to be upheld by the ones who claim to have them. And if you can't uphold them, they don't exist anymore. And that's exactly what Elon did here. And it doesn't even take that much. He's got like what, 1,000 employees, and he's just like a few $1 billion. He's not like a mega corporation. He's publicly traded, sure, but still, money talks and bullshit walks, and it's either stomp or be stomped on. So I'm proud of him, but
So
we'll see.
obviously Tesla makes money, but how does SpaceX make him money? Does it make him money?
I'm not quite sure. I don't really see what exactly he accomplished other than just purely a flex. Like, oh look at me, I'm a private business who launched a rocket to space that the government couldn't do for the past 50 years. Oh, look at me. Oh yeah, you see this flex, you see these financial muscles. So
I think
I
he's an
think
alien.
I think more than anything it's just PR. It's a great flex, but also it's like some kind of transcendental cultural statement and say like, oh, Elon Musk is pushing the future. He's beyond. He's above, literally, both atmospherically and methodologically, above and beyond the other businesses. So, yeah, I would say it's just a flex. He probably has the money to invest. If I were him, I probably wouldn't have done something so spectacular. I would have created like, I don't know, like a hovering Cybertruck instead of a fucking rocket, because what's the point of going to space if you can't even solve your problems on Earth first? But I'm not a business expert, and I'm sure he has his secret reasons that no one will know. But if you ask me what I suspect, it's just PR and a flex. And yeah, it's a really shaky investment to pour that much money in a rocket. That What can you do with it? You just have SpaceX astronauts floating, waving their hands to the International Space Station as they fly by. Nothing's really gonna come out of it, other than just like impressing people and making the news. So he could be saving some money in marketing by doing this instead, because you launch a rocket. Okay, that's a good few $100 million, maybe $1 billion or two. But it is very effective marketing, considering how many people, like, it is on the mainstream news. Everybody's talking about it. Everybody knows about it. Now everybody knows what Tesla is because they look at Elon Musk. Okay, what is SpaceX? Who runs SpaceX? Elon Musk. What is Elon Musk associated with? Tesla. It's the Google algorithm. Just this
And the Boring
elaborate
Company.
spiderweb of topics attached to topics, and that's how free marketing. So PR and marketing. That's what I think is going. That's why I think he did it.
So I guess just kind of like a side note, this guy got bored and made a company called The Boring Company and made money off of it. to
What
support his tunnels that he was going to build. I don't know if he's still going to do that or not.
what does he sell?
Hats, flamethrowers.
Hats and flamethrowers.
Yeah,
Is there a specific reason for this combination of products? Are they
to
sold
get
together
support for the tunnel.
the tunnel to what?
To lighten the traffic in LA. He was going to build a tunnel
Oh,
system that would make it easier for travel
well,
because there's so many people there.
I guess if he's not employed by the state, that's kind of like a charity project. It's like basically a GoFundMe for public infrastructure.
He
It's
wanted to
fucking.
build it just for his convenience, from what I understand.
I mean, we're in the age of startups, so yeah, anything's possible.
Unless it was some kind of like toll thing where he got paid and not the government, then that would be lucrative. Because if you put your car in this tunnel and it travel in your car gets set on this railroad cart, you could send those things as fast as you want down the tunnel. Like $10 to ride in the tunnel.
The Boring Company is an American infrastructure and tunnel connection services founded by Elon Musk.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck?
He can. This man could probably touch something and turn it into money somehow.
So he's gonna have like Tesla tolls, and that's how he generates extra revenue.
I don't know. I don't know how he does it. He's got Tesla charging stations to charge your electric car, and you pay him to charge your car.
Oh, you gotta pay? Okay, all right. For some reason, I thought it was free. Yeah, I feel stupid.
No, but if you were one of the select few who were like one of the first to buy a certain car from the ones he was selling, you got your charges for free for life.
Okay, hold on. Say
But
that
it
again.
has to be at a. I can't remember. I don't remember where I saw it, but if you were like one of like the first to get a specific car, and if you got it, you got free charging for life. So as long as you were in range of a Tesla charging station, which they're all over the United States now, you could charge your car for free and get around for free.
I wonder how long those things take to charge.
Not very long. So how they, from what I understand, is if you pull up to a station and you're by yourself, it doesn't take very long. But if someone else pulls up next to you, it'll take like 30 minutes because of the amount of electricity that's
Because they're all
drawn
in
through those
parallel.
things.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
And yeah.
I don't know. I guess maybe this is just like really barely significant, menial at best. But I mean, you take a look at everything Elon does. There's like personality behind it, and I'm not saying this just like it's some kind of like woo woo abstract nonsense, but I think it's quite tangible that he's completely skirting like the so-called professionalism that people expect from marketing and websites of a business. Like, first of all, this company's called the Boring Company. Like, it's supposed to be some kind of joke.
Yeah, it was a joke. They made it as a joke, and then
What blows me away is just that every time he creates a joke, it ends up making money. And like the Cybertruck too, it's just so absurd, people can't stop paying attention to it, and eventually they're going to start selling. So it's so
but I don't know,
stupid.
man. You can't buy the Cybertruck that's racist.
Well, I guess
He
since freedom is
tweeted, "Take the
racist.
red pill,"
Oh,
and
right.
in a Reddit post back in 2013 relating to this red pill group on Reddit saying that feminism is bad, makes you racist for buying the Tesla truck because now you're a bad guy.
Oh well. I mean, being rich is also bad, but I don't see anyone attacking Elon Musk for being rich, even though he donates like nothing to charity. Which he shouldn't, because he's making leaps and bounds as we speak. But I don't know.
How
I
much
guess it's
time
just
are
not
we
big
at?
enough yet. Um, so yeah. Anyways, I don't know.
Peripheral.
I'm just surprised by his absurdist approach. How he just starts making things as jokes, and they every time they keep succeeding in making money, even though they're totally, for the most part, impractical. Like
You
the
know, the
fucking
red pill thing
flamethrower.
could have been a joke. There could have been no meaning behind take the red pill.
I'm pretty sure there wasn't.
And
Or if there wasn't, he was just stoned out
and
of his mind. He probably doesn't remember himself.
oh yeah, I forgot
So
he smokes weed.
yeah. So now you got the Boring Company. And then you had SpaceX. Well, SpaceX has been around for a while. They seem rather serious in what they're doing. But when it comes to like Tesla, like he like what other car company puts Easter eggs in their car, in the computer that's running
Oh
the car?
yeah, yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
there's an Easter egg in the car.
it's like a
But
Crash
like,
Bandicoot game or something on the LCD panel inside each Tesla car or something. Or I don't know. Maybe it's like one of the Model S's. I guess nobody
well,
really
Easter
mentions
eggs
those.
are a tradition in video games, and video game makers take a lot of pride in what they do. And I think he had a lot of took a lot of pride in making that car. He didn't make that car just to sell it. He made that car because maybe he loved making cars
I guess you got a
or
point there.
loved making that car. I mean, GM is just a company. Ford is just a company. They have design people. They have manufacturing. They probably have a lawyer group, and
So people just
uh,
subconsciously think that each Tesla is just made with love and Easter eggs and memes.
it could be. It could be because they're not as big a company as Ford or as GM,
Well, you see,
and so there's probably
that's the inevitable thing with businesses: is they grow, their essence is lost. Like McDonald's, for example. It started out with just literally the McDonald's brothers, or the McDonald brothers, and then once that dude with like the Slavic ass last name, he bought it. Then it just turned into like this conglomerate megalith, and it just kind of lost all of its humanity. It wasn't the McDonald's brothers thing anymore. And I mean, that's just the inevitability of a company as it grows. It becomes less human. It becomes more of a machine.
yeah, more of a machine. So one of the previous CEOs of McDonald's, the guy who was responsible for updating all the McDonald's and making them more modern looking. You know how they look like coffee shops now on the inside.
Oh, I mean,
He got
they're trying to be Starbucks, but
well, he had to resign because he developed a relationship with an employee at one of the restaurants.
ooh,
But at the same time, okay, so it's against the policies to date someone in company. But like a good percentage, I feel like, of people around the world work at McDonald's. And you're telling me you can't go out with the one girl that looks really nice and has a nice personality that works at McDonald's and you're the CEO? Like, you'd be on.
I mean, I don't think I think it goes without saying when you're a CEO, you're that high up socially, and you have that much money in your pocket. Women like that, whether or not we like to admit it, whether or not they like to admit it. If you're high status, you have money, there will never be a shortage of women before you. And it's just
I mean, he could have just walked over to Burger King and picked up a girl at Burger King, but just across the street. Who are
well,
you? Oh, I work at McDonald's.
I
What do
don't
you
know.
do? Oh,
I
I
guess the chicks at McDonald's have less of
logistics.
a gap in between their teeth or something. I don't know. Like Burger
Hey, they
King's
got
kind of like
standards.
second rate compared to them. Whatever.
I wouldn't. Burger King is awful. Most of their food is awful. The only thing I'll eat at Burger King is a Whopper.
I mean,
Their
the
fries are
Impossible
just
Whopper.
meh.
I haven't tried that yet, but
No, I haven't tried it either, and I won't.
yeah. Well, I mean, I'm glad you're so firm in your decision. At least there wasn't any hesitation. But anyway, okay. Anyways, I think what drew him in is because of the taboo factor. He knows he shouldn't do it, but it's just like when you're a kid. Your parents tell you don't do this, don't do that, and what is the thing that you want to do after being told that? You want to do exactly what you're told not to do. So the taboo-ness is what I think what caused this the current that or the McDonald's CEO at the time to be forced to resign after I don't know, banging one of his subordinates.
Hey, now, hey, he developed a relationship. We don't know what happened. We don't know if
Right.
she allowed him to take him on a date, but I'm assuming he didn't just pull up in some beater car. He probably pulled up in like the McDonald's CEO car, which was probably like a Lamborghini with the McDonald's symbol on it.
What about a yellow and red Rolls Royce with the big golden arches up
Mm,
top on the roof?
or maybe it was the Tesla Roadster.
Oh my god. A red and yellow Tesla Roadster with a fucking golden M on the top. Oh fuck.
And on the steering wheel,
Jeez.
it just reeked of fast food. Yeah.
It's got Ronald McDonald like giving you like pointing his fingers as directions as the nav.
No, it's Ronald McDonald's hand as the speed as you accelerate.
Oh my god, it's
his
like the
finger
speedo,
pointing.
yeah. Like instead of the
Yeah.
needles, just like Ronald McDonald's arms pointing at the speed. Oh, that's so fucking good. Oh man, Musk should buy one of those. He should roll out one of those.
The check engine light is just Ronald McDonald smiling.
Like a negative picture of his face with red and his eyes are all black.
Oh god.
Oh fuck. Oh, that'd be so good.
All right, I think that's a good spot to end there.